Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are tuning in from. My name is Angeline Constantino, and I am the founder, coach, and podcaster of Let's Break the Silence with Angeline. So welcome to the broadcast today, and you can find my new episodes, which are available at www.letsbreakthesilence.com. And please like and subscribe to my Let's Break the Silence on Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, Apple, and all the live streams. And if you are watching live on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Angeline Mitchell. So I am super, super excited to do this broadcast today. Today I have a very special guest, a very good friend, who we connected a couple of weeks ago. So before we get started, please smash the heart button. Let us know where you are tuning in from, so you can give us so we can give you a proper shout out. Well, I see Lucian is here. Hello, Lucian. Lucian is live from Port Elizabeth, South Africa. So welcome to the broadcast. Lucian, it's great to see you here again. And let's get started. Let's give some other shout outs. Watching from Port Elizabeth, South Africa. Thank you so much. So Carolyn Bachino is the founder and CEO of Health Coach Link LLC and creator of Spiritual Fitness Coaching. She is an award-winning healthcare quality improvement consultant, former CDC Research Fellow, and recipient of the CDC Partners in Public Health Award. She is a peer review published author, board certified integrative nutrition health coach, certified intrinsic life coach, medical intuitive, and motivational speaker. She specializes in anti-aging and healing emotional traumas without years of therapy. She helps women transform themselves, mind, body, and soul in order to have success in finding a marriage partner who will treat them like the queen they are through her marriage appeal program. She also counsels married women who are unhappy. Her stated objective is to improve the health and well-being of others by connecting them to their source and true potential, and to improve the healthcare system to produce better outcomes. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on Carolyn.
Can you see me?
Okay.
Oh, hi, everybody.
Good morning.
Hey.
After the technical glitch. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, I had a little.
It's okay. Hey, things happen, but you know how they say in acting, the show must go on.
The show must go on is right.
That's my favorite statement these days. I used to be an actress, but I never pursued it, so that's part of it.
Wow. Well, I didn't know that. Wow. Well. Yeah. Welcome to this world. So, how are you doing this morning? I have my cup of tea actually here, and one of my favorite cup, which says, "Let's do this."
Okay, Angeline, I'm so thankful to be here. I'm doing awesome this morning. I listened to Tony Robbins, get into the state, like get your mind ready for the day. And I actually worked out for 10 minutes for the first time in many months.
Wow, good for you. Good. 10 minutes can make a difference. And that's what I did this morning too. Sometimes when I'm under a tight schedule, that's what I do. Normally I do a half an hour, but today it was short and sweet. So it's short and sweet, but that's good. 10 minutes is better than, nothing at all. So.
Absolutely. And it builds. You just have to start a little action, a little bit, and it just builds and builds. And now I'm pumped. I want to be I want to get really, really fit,
Well, good. That's good. Actually, I'm working on that too, because I have a photo shoot coming up on November 30th. So, and it's a beautiful day here in upstate New York. It's going to be, I think, probably in the 50s today. So it's going to be, I'm going to go for a walk this afternoon and just clear my head. So anyways, okay, let's get right into it. So who is Carolyn? The viewers who are tuning in today, by the way, I'm live on Facebook. I'm live on my YouTube channel. I'm also live in my private Facebook group, which is Let's Break the Silence with Angeline. So who is Carolyn? I know you shared my story. you shared your story with me about a week ago, and it's very, very inspiring. But also, I know at one time that you were not in this place that you were now. So where were you before your amazing transformation?
Wow, great question. It's taken me like the past 7 years since becoming a coach to really figure out my niche and who I am, that I'm bringing forward, and that who I can help. So that's a really amazing question. So first of all, I consider myself a woman of faith. I was a born again Christian for many years, born Catholic, but never religious until college. And then at age 30, I ended up living in this Orthodox Jewish community that I happened to move to in Atlanta, Georgia. And, turns out I was actually born Jewish, and they accepted me like family, and I've never looked back. So, I feel like I can relate to all kinds of people and experiences because I've had them all. I was a public school girl. I grew up secular. I did the dating thing. I really had this hole in my heart the whole time, because I wanted a boyfriend so badly. And I want to tell you this because I think that it's going to relate to a lot of your audience. What I was going through basically was this emptiness in my heart, which at the time it was totally filled by the Christianity. But the group that I happened to get into, the Christian group in college, they had very strict rules. They didn't allow dating. You had to get approved by the pastor of the main church before you could even date a person, and it had to be supervised. Like it had to be with a chaperone. So here I was, 18 years old, after having a wild time in high school, I gave up dating, and I became celibate. And I really, what happened was I became sexually oppressed and emotionally oppressed because number one, being that my soul was Jewish, I really didn't fit in. I didn't know that was the reason, I felt like I didn't fit in, and that, I couldn't put my finger on it. So I had just said, this was at USC in Southern California many years ago. And I said, you know what, I'm going to go on an overseas studies program. I'm going to be a missionary, and I'm going to go to Prague. Like Prague was like, never heard of it, but it was, when I found out, it was so beautiful. And I went there, and it was an adventure. And I thought that I could really trust my quote unquote discipler back at the church, the person who was supposed to be my mentor. And I told her, hey, I met this great guy, and he's so nice, but I'm struggling with this. And I may have also mentioned that I made a friend who's a guy, happens to be, and we really hit it off. And she went and turned me in. And yeah, she turned me into the church, saying I had a boyfriend. I never even kissed either of these two guys, never even kissed. And here I was, sexually oppressed, and in the prime of my life, couldn't date. I come back, and I they don't even let you go. I don't know what this group is anymore, but as it turns out, this really was a cult on campus. And I think the school has really cracked down on those types of groups. But I know that they kicked out a lot of people. And I know one girl, for example, who she actually became an atheist. She became an atheist. Wow. And she was so on fire Christian, I couldn't believe it. But the thing I took with me from that whole experience was the thought that came to my mind is God is bigger than the box they're putting him into.
That's true.
Much bigger.
Oh, yes.
And after that, I went to a more normal Christian church. My life went on. And, but what happened was I still was celibate for 7 years. I thought sex was a sin. I just read in the 7 Noahide laws, those have existed since the beginning of time. Sex is not a sin. It's who you have sex with. If you have sex with a married person, a relative, incest.
Right.
Those things are a sin. But here I was believing that it was a sin and being oppressed and oppressing myself. But during this time, I went back to Houston, 7 years of celibacy. I wanted a boyfriend. I went out. And when I went out to this club, I met the wrong guy. And that night, he date raped me.
Oh my goodness.
And imagine after 7 years of celibacy, what something like that could do to you. I was totally like spiritually dead inside. But even my brother didn't have any sympathy once I told him that I was fooling around. I was kissing him. Clothes were off. He was really pissed in the beginning. And my brother's a strong guy. But after I told him that, it was like, you know. And so I think that a lot of your audience can relate, because when something happens to you, you question yourself, like, did I cause this?
Right, exactly.
And I felt so alone. And, you know, like I said, it's taken me 7 years to figure out who I can help and who I am and who I am, really, the question you asked me. Because, you know, years later, I became an Orthodox Jew. I met my husband. I have 2 kids. And, you know, I set myself a goal to get married. And I used a tool that my rabbi told me when I wanted to go learn Torah, because I had no idea about Judaism. He said, write down how much money you need. Exactly.
Right.
And then pray for that amount. So I wrote down 5 qualities I wanted in a husband. And I heard this Rebbitzin, this female that's a wife of a rabbi, speak. And she said, write down 5 things you want in a spouse. And then pick your top 3 that are non-negotiable.
Right.
Well, I think she was wrong. Okay, even though it worked. It worked. I got the guy with the top 3 things. But 3 is not enough. 3 is not enough. The number 1 thing on the list should be, is he a mensch? What's a mensch? A gentleman.
A gentleman, okay.
Is he a gentleman? How does he treat you? How does he, I mean, it's not, I didn't feel my husband was treating me bad. Okay, we were dating, but we only dated 2 months. What I liked about him was, you know, maybe it's because of what I did that I got an engagement so fast. 2 months. So now I'm teaching women how to get an engagement, a proposal within 90 days. So I'm working on a free webinar. It's almost ready. So when you read through my website, I can offer it to the free webinar to your listeners. How to get engaged and I mean, how to get a proposal in 90 days. So this stuff really works. But I think that the Rebbitzin was wrong. I think you need to stick to those 5 things at least. And the top one is, how is he treating you? I mean, how is he? What do other people say about him? You know, these women date men and they never check their references. You have to treat yourself as a queen, the queen that you are.
I agree with you. Totally agree with you.
You have to check his references. I spoke to my husband's ex-wife. She didn't want to say anything bad about him because it's this, you know, rule in Judaism not to talk bad about people. So she goes, well, the only thing good I could say about him is he's good looking. And I was like, yay, another woman thinks he's good looking. I knew he was good looking, but I needed that confirmation. Anyway, I didn't look at it in the way of what she was saying behind the scenes. Right. And my husband's a great guy, but he doesn't have the skills to communicate or to show that he cares or to show empathy. So for 13 years, and now this is my other target market, are women who are married and unhappy. Okay, because there's tons of them. Right. And they decided to stay in the marriage because A, they either can't afford to leave, or B, they don't want to break up the family. And those are totally good reasons, okay? Unless he's outwardly abusing you. If he's literally abusing you, and it's obvious that that's what's going on. A lot of times abuse is so like subtle that you don't even know. am I being abused? There's a book. I forgot who the author is, but I could maybe post it later or give it to you.
Absolutely.
It's called I'm So Confused. Am I Being Abused? And yeah,
Never heard of that book.
I'm going to send you that link because I think it's so important to figure out, because your mind is like, no, but he didn't mean, he's a nice guy. He didn't mean it. So anyway, I think my husband has the best intentions, but it's not fulfilling me. And so what I started to do like years ago was I found myself like in this like mode of compulsion of wanting to flirt with somebody else. And I was even telling my husband about these experiences. I'm totally honest.
Well, you're being transparent too. I mean, to communicate this to your husband.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, he kind of got used to it, but that was an addiction. That's actually an addiction. And there's a group called Sexaholics Anonymous. And when you get the book in Sexaholics Anonymous, it says that it's not sex you're addicted to, it's lust. It's actually lust. So I never thought, I wasn't addicted to sex. It was lust. That's what it was. And it drives you. And the first thing you have to say is, number one, is that my life has become unmanageable. I recognize that I am powerless over lust, and my life has become unmanageable. And the next thing you do is give it over to your higher power. So that's what I did. And I only did those 2 steps. I never really joined, but it worked for me because I already had this faithful life as an Orthodox Jew that I was living. It just worked for me. But at the same time, the compulsion didn't leave and it was still there. So this is my point that I discovered recently. It's energy healing. And as a health coach and a life coach, I've started to incorporate the energy healing into my sessions with clients. And it came to me when it happened that I was sitting there looking at the world at the beginning of the pandemic. And all I could see was people's face covered and their eyes in fear.
Wow.
The image that came to me. It's on my website. That's the first image. And I said, this is not how people need to be living. This is horrible. And you can't live in fear. You have to, fear is the lowest emotion. And when you catch yourself in that emotion, you need to change your state. So when I discovered this energy healing, going back, I mean, this happened to me literally a couple weeks ago. I told you that I was doing it on myself. And I said, why do I still have this compulsion? And it said emotional trauma. The answer I got was emotional trauma.
Okay.
What emotional trauma? At what age? 28. It said 28. And I had totally forgotten about that date rape. It wasn't part of my conscious mind, but it was running my life. It was running my life. The compulsion was there partially, not completely, but as a result of that date rape. So I was able to energetically clear those blocks from the date rape. And another crazy thing that I discovered was there was another trauma. And I said, how old was I when that one occurred? None of the ages. I went through every age of my life. It came up nothing. Was it in my mother's womb? No. So then I knew that it was a past life. And it actually said that I was in a state of fear called dread. So I said, I've never experienced dread in my life. Thank God. I've experienced fear, but not dread, like someone's coming to kill me. And I said, was it the Holocaust? And it said, yes. I mean, the answer I felt from the energy of and this is all, just so you know, it's something called energy dynamics. And it's supervised by a rabbi. So it's nothing to do with contacting, any kind of entities. You only speak to the energy of the universe. And I'm getting answers, yes, no answers. And then I'm looking in my book and then I'm clearing it all. So I actually those traumas were running my life. I was able to clear both of them in one session.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
why
God.
I am so like, I have to get this out to the world. It's so important. I have to get this message out. If you can help me, because I'm like the world's best kept secret. And the thing that came to me when I saw that image like that was the term spiritual fitness. Spiritual fitness.
And
And I
how did you come
Googled
up with that name? So how did you
it.
come up with
Came to me when I meditated on that image, and I said, this is not the way people need to be. And spiritual fitness came to me. So I looked it up, and it's been used, but nobody had spiritual fitness coaching. So I reached out to an attorney. I ordered the service mark for spiritual fitness coaching.
Okay. Oh, good.
And my website is spiritualfitness.coach. The others were taken. But hey, what I realized is that what no other coach is doing, and how I'm unique, is number one, first of all, I have a master's in public health. I'm an epidemiologist. So I
Right.
can go into the science. If the energy tells me it's a physical cause, then it's not an energetic or a spiritual cause. I can't really clear it. But what I could do is figure out what remedies they need based on that information alone.
Wow.
And I have a network of functional medicine doctors that I can reach out to that could be, maybe they live in the same city as the person that I'm working with.
Wow.
And
That's
so
amazing.
I'm building this network on my other website, and it's called getprevention.net. And I'm building a network of holistic and functional medicine doctors and part of the reason is to get me referrals, because hey, there's only so much they can do without addressing the spiritual root cause of the problem. Or if it's a spiritual cause, like addiction has a spiritual cause. That's what it says in the essay book.
I see.
Addiction to sex or lust, it's a spiritual disease. And when I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, imagine how many people I could help who've had traumas, sexual traumas, childhood traumas. And I've worked with a couple people already that have serious childhood traumas.
Right.
My friend, don't want to mention her name, but anyway.
No, that's okay. That's okay. What are the steps in the energy healing process for the viewers who are tuning in today and for those who will catch the replay later? What is involved? Because maybe some people may be scared, they may be skeptical, so how do they go about the healing part?
So, as a coach, well, first of all, I offer a free 20-minute energy read to anyone who's listening. They go to my website. It's actually 30 minutes. You could book it. And I just basically say, what's your problem? It could be a relationship issue. It could be anything, right? It could be anything. What's your problem? And then I just energy check it through a medical intuition. And I said, what's the root cause? And I could say, well, that has a spiritual cause, a physical cause, or an energetic cause. I can tell them right away. Right. And then I can go to another page in my book and ask, okay, which cause is it? And it has a list of things. I get a yes when I hit on the right one. And I'm just getting these messages from the energy. It's connecting to the subconscious, to my subconscious.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. And so the subconscious mind is running your life, actually. It's not, you can tell yourself everything you want, but it's your subconscious mind that's making your life whatever it is, attracting things to you. So when you can tap into that, miracles can happen. So basically, I'm just tapping into my subconscious mind and getting answers from my client. And I'm telling them, okay, it looks like it was that the reason for this ailment, it has a spiritual cause and it was trauma. Then I can tell them, at what age it was. But I'm not going much further than that on a free call. I'm going to let them know. I'll ask the energy, how many sessions does this person need? And then we go from there. So if you want to continue, we can do X number of sessions together to basically get you spiritually fit. And what I mean by that is that you're not living based on your fears, your negative emotions, your past traumas. You're not living based on all of that stuff. You're clear. Your energy is clear. And so now you can be the person you were meant to be. You can live the life that you desire, and you can manifest, because, like I said, I'm also a life coach. So
Right.
I'm coaching. If I'm in an actual session with someone, besides that free call, I'm actually spending the first 30 minutes of the session asking questions and coaching the person to have an aha moment, hopefully. And at the next part of it, I'm like, okay, you can basically take a break. I'm going to work on your energy system. I work on the auras. I work on clearing that, the meridians, the brain, the energy lines.
Wow.
Some people have energy lines down. Some people have more than one energy system because of all the trauma they've been through. Like, they've kind of split themselves. And I can discover all that. I work on the brain. It's basically just energy. So it's nothing to be scared of, and the brain, the spinal cord. Some people have back pain because they have a trauma that's stored in their back. Like, I was talking to one person, and I checked him, and I said, did you have a situation, his back was hurting. Did you have a situation at work where what I'm getting is that it was intellectual boundaries were crossed? And I went over to him after checking that, and I told him that, and he's like, what? How did you know about that? You could not have known about that, And
Right.
he's like, there was this thing at work, this guy, for months, I was going to buy some property, and I'm a banker, and it was kind of like, a sticky situation because I could have got fired. Have I done this? And I was negotiating, we made up, though. It's okay, but you're 2 weeks late because we made up already. I said, no. That stress of those months and months of all that negotiation and all that stress, it's still in your back. It's still there. And I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I was just practicing. So I tried to clear it, but I didn't even I'm supposed to send the person the session energetically, like I'm sending you the session. Did it get assimilated in their body? Did it get processed? I didn't even do that step. I was learning. But I mean, it was cool that I couldn't have known that. So it's pretty interesting. Like, there's a guy called the medical medium, and he's pretty famous. I'm not sure what he does. He's very, very popular. I think this is similar to that. But anyway, that's that.
That's that. Wow. What a story. What a story. So for those of you who are watching right now, if this is resonating with you, please comment below resonate. We would love to hear your thoughts on this. And let me just read some of the comments here. Oh, Jackie's here. Jackie is shooting live from the United Kingdom. Hi, ladies. And Lucian, thanks for reminding me to work out. I'm on the treadmill now listening to you. And that's my friend George. Oh, Gloria is a podcaster. She is a podcaster. So she is, and she's made great strides in her life. She's healed from trauma, and her life is completely transformed in the last year. And Jackie said, my boyfriend is prior Jehovah's Witness through his last marriage, but not anymore.
Interesting. When I was 12 years old, the Jehovah's Witnesses knocked on my parents' door, and like I said, I was a non-religious Catholic at the time, and my mom, and then they said, we want to learn Bible with your daughter, and I was 12. My mom was like, okay, and they were so sweet. They kept coming every week, teaching me the Old Testament. I would have never learned those stories. I got to give them credit.
Oh my gosh. So I have another question to ask you. So regarding the spiritualfitnesscoach.com, for those of you who are tuning in today, you can, if you're inspired by Carolyn's story and you need some energy healing work and you would like a free consultation, please go to her website at www.spiritualfitnesscoach.com and schedule a consultation, a free. And how long is the consultation again?
It's 30 minutes for the free consultation, and then if we work together, it's going to be a 3-hour session. Actually, I'm sorry, it's going to be, you could choose between. It's probably going to be a 2-hour session.
Okay, probably a 2-hour session. Okay.
Yeah. But I wanted to say about the point about being married already.
Yeah, like
in a hard marriage. You know, I didn't get to that part. Is that you have resentments built up against your husband, and he has resentments built up against you, and that's what's the block. That creates a spiritual block. So
okay.
that was the other part of my healing of this addiction. It wasn't enough just to remove the traumas, but now I had to remove the traumas, not traumas, but like the violations, they're called, that were between us and all the resentment. So basically I asked how many violations, and there was 1,000. And these are little things like, oh, you've tried this business before and failed. Oh, you know, look at the house, it's a mess, you can't handle anything. You know,
right.
These kind of comments, these kind of snide remarks, these kind of, F you. To say that to your wife is like,
oh my God. Oh my God.
But it happens. We're all human, not to say that it should happen in a marriage ever, but
I agree with you.
Those are subtle things. They may not be considered abuse, but then again, they could be. And so, it's always, your mind gets cluttered from it all, and you lose connection, and you're not happy. So I went to those 1,000 blocks, and I just cleared 100 at a time. I'm clearing. And I don't feel any resentment against my husband now.
Wow.
I'm not saying we have a perfect marriage. No, no one does.
And
I'm
how
not
long
saying I want to divorce him one day, but at the same time, I can live in a bad situation, let's say, a not ideal marriage,
right,
and still be happy and fulfilled and still be accomplishing my goals. So when he says to me, oh, you spent the whole day on your business, you didn't clean the house, I say, whatever you say, it bounces back to you, because I'm doing my thing. And your negative energy doesn't come into my field anymore. I have a block. It doesn't come in. Like, I'm not blocking him. I'm still connected. And there's this thing you could do with the energy, where you can connect to people, or you can disconnect.
right.
Like, you can disconnect from a bad past relationship that you're still connected to, that's running your life. You can't get over it.
Can't get over it. But you're able to block it, though.
I'm able to block the negative energy to a certain degree. And then I also work on myself every day with the energy, just to clear whatever is remaining.
That's good. That's interesting. Yeah. Good for you. I commend you for doing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna create a class on mastermind.com for women who are in a marriage where they're not happy. How do you live and be happy and fulfilled in that situation?
You know why? And I'm glad you touched on this, because there's a lot of women who feel stuck, and they feel that they can't leave their spouse. I mean, they want to, but they don't want to, or they can't, or they don't want to because of children. So so you teach like your techniques in order to block that?
I work with the person. If they want to become an energy healer themselves, I can direct them to the course. But I would like to work with the person, put them on the program, marriageappeal.com. That's the website that I'm working on. It's not complete yet. Okay. But I'm going to have basically a landing page that offers them the free webinar. So the free webinar is how to attract a husband in the next 90 days.
Oh,
yeah.
I like that. I may take the webinar.
Go for it. Sign up for my email list on my website, and you'll get the email.
I will definitely check. I love it. I call it the unique selling proposition. I love how you are positioning your business.
How I'm what?
Your position in your business.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing is too that I never could figure it out, because I'm on this healthcare quality improvement manager with a master's in public health for 20 years experience. And then on the other hand, I'm this coach. So how do I combine the two? And it's like, no, it's two different target markets. I'm working with the doctors. You know, I'm doing a new podcast called Uncensored. And you inspired me to create a podcast.
Well, thank you, everyone. So, you know what? Let me create that. What is the name of the podcast again?
It's called Uncensored, interviews with healers that are making the difference.
That are making a difference. Okay.
No, who are making the difference.
Got it. Okay.
You see, that's the thing. Quality management hasn't really come very far in 20 years that I've worked there. You know, people are more chronically ill than ever before. But there's certain doctors, functional, integrative, holistic health practitioners like myself and coaches that are making the difference between living a chronically ill life and living your best life. And that's what it's about. So I'm basically getting all those people together. We're going to have more networking, and I'm going to interview the people that are in my network who are making the difference.
Wow, that's great. You know, and thank you for the shout out. And I really appreciate that. Thank you. And I know that when you had mentioned that to me yesterday, late in the afternoon, I was out on the road yesterday, that you were inspired to start your own podcast. I was almost like literally crying in the car. I'm not kidding. I was all choked out.
Yes. I tagged you because I tagged you. I said, if I'm tagging you, it's someone who inspired me.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you. And I saw the tag, and thank you. Thank you. So for those of you who are watching right now, who will be catching the replay, the name of Carolyn's new podcast is Uncensored Interviews with Healers Who Are Making a Difference. Now, where
the difference.
A difference.
The T-H-E.
Okay, got it. Okay, I want to.
See, that's what I'm saying. That you're not just making a difference. You're making the difference in people's life between chronic illness and being free and being happy. And you know what I'm saying? Like it's a tiny word, but it makes a huge difference.
I agree with you. Now, where can they find your podcast?
Right here.
Spotify?
Huh?
Is it on Anchor FM? Did you start
Anchor? Thank you.
Okay.
It's on Anchor and Spotify right now.
Spotify, Google, and Apple, and all those.
The first person I'm interviewing is someone I met yesterday. She does something amazing. It's called laughter yoga.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah. So I think you can basically go on Anchor and like the podcast, so then you'll get notified when that interview comes up, because I forgot which day I'm doing it. I think it's next Tuesday at 12 o'clock. Okay.
And all my views. You know what I'm going to do? Put up the poster again. So hold on. Okay. So Uncensored Interviews with Healers Who Are Making the Difference. Please like and subscribe to Carolyn's podcast on Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, and all the live streams.
Yes. And by the way, when people contact me for the free energy read, I'll also be sending them a link to join my Facebook group, Spiritual Fitness. And on that Facebook group, I often go live and do live group coaching calls for free.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the Facebook group. So please tell me.
Well, it's called Spiritual Fitness, but they might not find it that way because it's, I don't know. Let me find the link for you, and I'll put it in the chat somehow.
Okay, very good. You know what? That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, I'm just taking myself out for a second. Can you still see me, though?
Oh, I can still see you. Absolutely. So let me I'll just keep going here. So, Guy, oh my God, everyone, I'm so excited. This has been an incredible. I'd
like to hear from people. What are they, what questions they have, really, because I'm here, I'm here to answer your questions and help you.
Yes. So if you have any questions, everyone, please don't hesitate to ask the questions in the comments below. or you could reach out to Carolyn directly. But if you would like to comment below on this live broadcast, on my personal profile, in my private group, and also on my YouTube channel, please do so. Please do not be shy. Okay. So, because I always encourage people to talk, and some people are shy. I don't know. They don't want to comment. But you know what? You know what's funny? I have a lot of replay viewers. So when the replay viewers come on, they may ask you questions. So, okay. So the Carolyn's Facebook group to join is. You can see that link there, and I will put that in the comments below once the live broadcast is over.
Yeah, basically they could find it when they Google spiritual fitness under groups, but then they have to choose the one that has this picture of a girl at the beach with her eyes closed. Okay. She's sort of meditating. That's the one.
That's the one. Okay, very good, very good. Well, I can't wait. I cannot wait. So, in closing, we're coming up at the top of the hour. What are your closing remarks? What would you like to? What message would you like to deliver today to the audience? What is a special message of hope, encouragement, and anything that is going to inspire someone to finally clear those blocks?
Yes. Okay, so listen. If you've been dating for a while and you're not finding success and keep meeting the wrong person, it's what you're attracting. It's all because of what's going on with you subconsciously. There's something called the law of affinity. Also, so like it's not the law of attraction; it's the law of affinity. I can teach you that in my program. But basically, you're attracting those men because of the way you carry yourself. I'm sorry, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but it has to do with how you present yourself to the outside world.
Right.
How are you carrying yourself? Because a guy who's serious, he's not looking for, he's looking for certain criteria. Even like, he's thinking of subconsciously, is this woman going to be a good mother to my children? And I've been listening to get this free webinar that I'm working on. I've been listening to and researching because I'm analytical, so I've been researching all the male relationship coaches and what they say a man wants. Women to be serious about it. So I just want to encourage you that if you're not married, you can, I'm here to help you. I have the marriage appeal program, and it's now 50% off because it's being launched for the very first time. And so anyone who signs up by the end of the year, we're starting at the very beginning of the year. So
good.
If you set for yourself the goal that for this new year, what do you call it? Your New Year's resolution.
Right.
This is going to be the year you find the love of your life and get engaged.
Wow.
If that is your goal, then you have to reach out to me because I'll help you make it happen.
Good. That's good. That's awesome. And that is a great way to close the broadcast. So, all right, everyone. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. And you know what I'm going to do, Carolyn? I'm going to put you back in the green room. I call it the green room. So hang tight. Okay. So
high fives.
High fives, everyone. Okay?
You can do it.
I'll talk to you if you can the broadcast is over. But I'm going to put you back in the green room. Okay. Hello, everyone. That was so inspiring. That was amazing. So if you got value from today's live episode, please hashtag value in the comments below. And if you would love to share this live out to someone who needs to hear this message, please share the live out to a personal friend. Or if you have a Facebook group, please share this out. So in closing, this is... I want to thank you all for tuning in today to today's live broadcast. So please like and subscribe to my Let's Break the Silence podcast. All new episodes are available at www.letsbreakthesilence.com. And like and subscribe on Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, Apple, and all the live streams. And if you are on YouTube, if you are watching this on the replay on my YouTube channel, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So for a free initial consultation, please click on that link, www.spiritualfitnesscoach.com, and Carolyn will do a free 30-minute consultation. And to subscribe to Carolyn's new podcast, Uncensored Interviews with Healers Who Are Making the Difference, on Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, and all the live streams. So please like and subscribe to her podcast. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning in, and peace and blessings to you. And I will see you in the next live broadcast. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, hi, Tina. How are you? Thank you so much for tuning in live today. Here's the correct website, so please accept my apologies. It is www.spiritualfitness.coach. So please go to that website and book a call with Carolyn, okay? And again, Tina, thank you so much. Oh, hi, Tina. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm sure you'll be inspired and watch the replay. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. This podcast episode will be uploaded on my Anchor.fm podcast next week. So please be on the lookout for it. That will be episode 30. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I wish you all a wonderful day. And bye for now.